Hello everyone, welcome you once again to my class on ELT. In today's class, we shall be continuing with our discussion on silent way, which we started in our last video. So just a recap of what we have done so far. What exactly is the silent way? Now, silent way is the name of a method of language teaching that was devised by Caleb Gettigno. In this method, the teacher remains silent as much as possible because it is believed that the teacher's silence will encourage the learners to produce as much language as possible. However, the teacher remains a firm controller of the class. Now, we had also discussed about the materials that we will be using in the silent way. In the silent way, the materials that are commonly used include sound color chart, word chart, Fiedel chart, that is basically color coded pronunciation chart, pointer or rod. Now I have given you pictures of all these materials here. This is a picture of the sound color chart. Now in the very beginning stage, the learners are taught to associate a particular sound with a particular color. So, in this way, even before they have learned the language, they know the sounds of the language. This is the picture of the Fiedel chart. In this chart, all the sounds which are pronounced in the same way will be having the same color. Okay, so that is the Fiedel chart, and this is the word chart. You can see, as given in the picture, every sound of a particular word will be color coded. Okay, so as I've already told you, even before they understand the concept of each word, they understand the right pronunciation of the word. So that is the best feature of the silent way. Now, what are the common words that are taught using this word chart? Basically, they are taught functional vocabulary. Functional vocabulary is taught mainly by using the word chart. This includes prepositions, numbers, pronouns, quantifiers like words that tell us the quantity like both, some, few, etc. Similarly, words dealing with temporal relations, in the sense words dealing with time like first, finally, etc. And also words of comparisons like bigger than, shorter than, lesser than, etc. So all these are taught using the word chart. Now, these words are referred to as the functional vocabulary because of their very high utility. These are very important. These words are considered to be very important in conversation, to keep up a conversation. Therefore, they are known as the functional vocabulary. Then, word chart will also contain luxury vocabulary. These words are used to communicate some specialized ideas like political or philosophical opinions, and therefore they are known as luxury vocabulary. Um, the chart will also contain semi luxury vocabulary. These are actually common expressions that we use in our day to day life. Pointer or rod is also used in the silent way. Now, a pointer or a rod can indicate the stress, speed, rhythm, as well as intonation. Now, the right use of the pointer along with the chart will help the learner produce an indefinite number of sentences. Silent Way also makes use of wall pictures. Wall pictures present drawings of everyday life, and that is used for the expansion of vocabulary. As you already know, in the silent way, the teacher remains silent as much as possible, and therefore the teacher resort to making use of gestures in order to communicate the ideas or commands, etc. So here are a few examples of the gestures used by the teacher. Here you have a gesture for stop, to repeat, and each finger can stand for a particular word, like take a green rod, as you can see in the picture. Then the teacher again uses gestures in order to convey the idea that the student has to speak loudly. So these are the common symbols used to communicate ideas by the teacher. Now let's talk about the application of the silent way. The class usually begins by using fetal charts. You know what fetal charts are? We have already discussed about that. Mainly fetal charts are used in order to teach pronunciation, as well as word charts are also there. So, in the first part of the lesson, importance is given to pronunciation. Remember, in silent way, pronunciation is given a lot of importance. In fact, that is the first thing that the students learn to they learn in order to pronounce accurately even before they learn the language. And the teacher also makes use of rods. You know about Cuisenaire rods. um, in fact, a creative teacher can use these Cuisenaire rods very effectively in order to convey a number of concepts. In fact, in my previous video I have already told you, I had given you pictures of how a teacher can effectively make use of rods in order to communicate various concepts related, like a table, house, chair, tree, etc. So all these concepts can be made clear by making use of rods. Then teacher can make use of pictures, objects, or situations. So these are used in order to present the idea to the students. Now, mother tongue can also be used to give instructions whenever necessary. However, keep in mind that in the silent way, literal translation into the mother tongue is not allowed. The students are mainly made to focus on a particular concept or an idea, and they try to understand the idea in the target language itself, and there is no literal translation that is done in the silent way. Now, the teacher basically pronounces a word or maybe a phrase or a sentence, and then expects the students to make a response. So, after modeling the utterance, the teacher will ask the student to attempt to produce that utterance, and if it is correct, she or he will gesture to indicate the acceptability of the utterance. Now, if the response is incorrect, the teacher will attempt to reshape the utterance using gestures. She will convey the idea that the response was incorrect, and she will motivate the student to reshape the utterance. Or another thing that can be done is she will ask another student to present a correct model of pronunciation. Now, the students are presented with the structural pattern of the target language. Okay, so the sentence structure will be taught, and this will be repeated by the students until and unless the structure is very clear to the students. For example, the teacher wants to teach pronouns to students. Maybe she can do it using Cuisenaire rods. She might point to a green Cuisenaire rod and say, give me the green rod. Okay, and now she expects the students to repeat this same structure, and this will be done by the students until and unless till the structure is very clear. The structure is very clear to the students. Now, after they have understood this pronoun my, then maybe the teacher would want the students to use him or her in the place of my, sorry, not my, in the place of me. Okay, so the teacher will model the utterance and then again expect the students to make the utterance. So this is how the structural practice is given to the students, and the grammar rules are taught inductively. Inductively, in the sense that they learn the rules by using the language. They don't learn the rules as such, but by using the language they learn the rules. So that is what is meant by the inductive method of learning the grammar. Now, lessons follow a sequence on grammatical complexity, in the sense that it will be graded. The easier ones start first and then they go to more complex ones. And a typical order of presenting would be, first they will be taught color, then number, prepositions, daily activities, daily dialogues, and so on. Reading and writing will also be taught at a later stage. Sometimes it will be teacher might teaching in the very beginning itself. Short passages will serve as a reader for providing focal points for discussion as well as starting points for composition. The texts also provide graded reading material for individual study by students.